Yeah, and it could be Osteen. I think that's the guy that everybody's kind of looking at and hoping ends up taking over that job. A guy that transferred in, I think I said Louisiana the last time that we did this. It is not Louisiana. He is actually from Jacksonville State. That's where he transferred in. So a guy coming over from Rich Rodriguez's system where he had some success. A guy that was a 3-year starter on the offensive line at the left tackle spot. So I think he can play on that left side, but also could be looked to on that right side as well. You go back and look at his career, and it really started out slow, wasn't great his sophomore year, got better his junior year, but this past year was really where he shined. So he's gotten better every single year that he's been at that level. It is going to be a step up. You're going from the group of 5 level up to the power conference level. But I mean, you look at it, he allowed just 2 sacks and 11 quarterback pressures on 396 pass blocking snaps. It's really good. Took just 1 penalty during that time. Those are numbers that you could live with. If he can translate those numbers, maybe, things get just a little bit worse than that. But if he could even reclimate what Carolina had, from Aiden Banfield last year, 3 sacks and 19 quarterback pressures. If that's what's coming from your tackle spots, then I think you're feeling pretty good. The one thing that I don't really understand is that a lot of people are looking at what Howard Sampson did last year, and we're acting like he was a great tackle. He allowed a lot of pressure as well. So regardless, Carolina was going to need improvement there. It's definitely a spot that they need to fill, and it's a big need for Carolina. But I think a guy like Will Osteen could probably come in there and be a little bit better, especially when you look at the fact that he graded out well as a run blocker, 76.4 this past year, graded out well as a pass protector, 72.7. Those are the types of guys that I think can come in and maybe make an impact. Their grades are good against lesser competition, but I still feel like a guy like Osteen, once he gets settled into the offense, might be a guy that comes out there and really surprises some people.
Yeah, I think when you're talking about players making the jump from whether it's FCS Group of 5 to the Power Conference level, I think it's different for each position. I think we're looking at an offensive lineman, and it's not to take away from the talent, the ability. I think the biggest thing is just going to be, can they handle the physicality? Because you're going to be playing a much more physical brand of football. I think what Bill Belichick, Michael Lombardi, why they liked him and why they went after him is just the experience. And
Mm-hmm.
that's something that, Carolina is bringing back 3 stars, but the guys that they're adding, they've got a nice blend of youthful talent, but also some experience that could really, elevate that room. And so, yeah, he may have played, down for Jacksonville State, but he played for Rich Rodriguez. And when Rich Rodriguez's offense is humming, it starts with their ability to move guys at the line of scrimmage, and be able to hold up in pass protection. I think that's what Carolina's banking on with them is, can you be a road grader? Can you move guys in the running game? And then can you just hold up in pass pro? Can you limit the amount of pressures that you give up? If you put some numbers similar to Aiden Banfield, I think we'll all be very pleased with that. And that would spell good things to come for Carolina's offense, because you're right, man. Howard Sampson was not great for Carolina a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Spent many a Saturday yelling some things at him that I probably shouldn't have yelled, in terms of just frustration at the lack of production we were getting out of that position. And I think what you've liked about what Belichick has created is, at the positions where maybe they're not as certain about who the starter is going to be, they've brought in someone that could legitimately compete for that job. And that means there's more talent, more depth among this position group than there has been in years past, despite that being the thing Mac Brown talked about the most. We sat through, was it 5 fall camps with Mac Brown, 6 fall camps, and every year he talked about having 8 to 10 offensive linemen that you could trust and depend on, and it felt like every year Carolina was at 6 or 7. I don't think it's by accident. Belichick understands football is a game of attrition. These guys are going to wear down. The seasons are longer than they've ever been, especially when you play. If you were to make the playoffs, I think you've got guys that can step up if needed upon, because the starting five that you saw in the first team practice the other day, the chances of them playing every single snap together this upcoming season are few and far between. You've supplemented your starting five with quality talent, quality depth, which is why I think you got guys like Phil Steele that are very optimistic about this room this upcoming year.